Hello, and let me bid you welcome once again to our conference edition. Oh yes, our conference edition. The Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria were on and blitz the whole of Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory, when we came from all nooks of our globe to participate in our 51st ICAN annual conference. And of course, we were there seriously with the theme, Trust in Governance. Guess what? We had cream de la cream come join with us, home and abroad. Dr. Akinwumi Adesina was ablaze when he gave us quite a number of bites in terms of how we should be looking at governance, his experience within governance, and how he's become a poster boy for Nigeria at AFDB. As a matter of fact, our Akinwumi Adesina at AFDB is the person to beat all over the world when it comes to institutions that he runs. And of course, we had our folks, also members of the Institute, who had paid their dues, now back as Director of Governance in the World Bank Bretton Woods Institution. Of course, we are looking at a couple of our eggheads who came on, spoke to us highly at great decibels about technology, the future of work, the future of accountants, how these accountants are making all the waves and going on to make the whole difference in our globe. Now you're going to sit back on this particular conference edition, right and beaming from the serene city of Abuja, where we are going to be showing video highlights of some of the sounds and sights and sounds are happening in Abuja. The participants, the way they felt, and I can even say by way of dropping a news, and that is the fact that up till about 1-2 p.m. West African time of today, members from different parts of the world were still arriving at Abuja and said they really want to be part of this iconic conference. And of course, we had a lot of fun, sports competition, videos. We needed to thank God that our 57th president of the Institute of Chartered Accountants was able to raise the bar. And in raising the bar, we came to start to do first. I'm talking about Mrs. Comfort Oluoyetayo, CFE, CFA, MNI, FCA, backed by the great institutes, body of past presidents. We had them come in droves, and they came to come and show that the new ICAN, we were going to continue to be the institute to be when it comes to education, when it comes to integrity, when it comes to trust in governance. And of course, people from government came. The representative of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria was there, who was to be represented, of course, by the Minister of Finance, who at the last minute had to follow Mr. President to Dubai for some other official assignment. But the permanent secretary in that ministry came, and he was pleased to no end, saying that the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria recognized the primus inter pares of what ICAN has always been. I want you to sit back, relax, as we show you more of some of the snippets of this intro that I've given. Don't go away. We'll soon be back.
Hello and welcome again to our ICAN on Air. This time I have a big fish that I have caught. That fish is a fish that I know swims in all waters, professionally, educational development, mores, culture, name it. And it's my honor and privilege to have a brief chat with Honorable Wahab Alawiye King, the executive chairman. Now wait for it, superb. And I can imagine all my professional colleagues who are listening to us, how did you get Honorable Alawiye King to talk to us here? Yes, talk to us about one of the basic things that the professions ask us to, dissemination of information, education, effective education, and what have you. My dear Honorable, you are most welcome.
Thank you.
And
I'm happy to be here.
I will ask you, as I always ask gentlemen, you came to our 51st Annual Accountants Conference and you sat through some of our plenaries. I personally was touched that at the level of what you operate, and of course working with the Honorable Commissioner of Finance, Mr. Olowo, who came to represent Mr. Sungolu, and you being in the two, gives us in the profession of accountancy, and professionals who are listening to us, that education is taken as a prime de la prime. When you walked into our conference here today, give me a feel of what went through your mind. What did you see? What were you looking out for to see and you didn't see?
Thank you very much. I'm highly delighted to be here. I was not surprised. I'm highly delighted. I'm happy because accounting profession is very structured in the sense that they have objective, they set objective and try to meet the objective. Because of that objectivity, it makes them to be different from any other profession. So I was highly impressed with what I saw when I came in.
Super, super. Thank you very much. And then go back to education. You know, earlier on today, the 8th elected president of the African Development Bank, AFDA, Dr. Akinwumi Adesina, when he was making his speech, made reference to education. I don't want to go back into statistics, how much we spend on education versus our budget, how, for instance, the kind of budget that Singapore or the Norway, all put into education and what they get for it, versus what Nigeria, puts in education and it got for it. But he made a salient point, which I think is the point that is what delineating now. That, but for education, he will not have been where he is today. But for the fact that his parents kind of sacrificed to just say, you must get this education. I want to know from you 2 or 3 main objectives of what SUBEB is contributing to education, one in Lagos State and by extension through peer reviews to Nigeria. What are the primary objectives of SUBEB vis-a-vis education, and what we as professional accountants should be looking out for?
Well, thank you very much. We have a mandate as a board, and the mandate is very simple and direct. We are to provide basic education that is free, compulsory, relevant, easily accessible, and comprehensive. Our vision is to ensure that every Lagos pupil, have access to basic education, regardless of what. And we will do that in partnership with teachers who are not only professionally qualified, but academically qualified, in an environment that is conducive for learning and teaching. That is the basic principle of why we operate as a SUBEB. You understand? As we all know, education is a social good, and as such, the demand for such goods outweighs the supply. Then you must have a way to balance. There are imbalances in the sector. We know that the sector is currently under siege. There must be some form of intervention. However, it will lead to intrusive interference, which can further aggravate the system and lead to more imbalances. So what we are saying in essence is that, yes, we need intervention from all and sundry, but it must be properly structured. So in essence, what we are saying, for us to have that effective education we are talking about, we need to build consensus, we need to form alliances, and we need to foster collaboration and partnership. And that is why organizations like yours, professional body like yours, need to work with us to ensure that there are transparency, accountability, and probity. If you look at the theme of this conference, trust in governance, it has been established that the lack of trust in governance has a relationship with what we are witnessing in our society daily. So we need to build that trust. We need to build that confidence in our citizens to make sure that governance is run the way it's supposed to be run.
Fantastic. I am not going to let you go, Honorable Wahab, by not asking you some salient questions that I know parents, guardians, practitioners in education talking about in our country. There are 2 or 3 of them I will touch. One is the fact that values have gone downhill, and so whether it is Yahoo boys, drugs, drug infested, people who want to come to school but don't want to learn, make a lot of trouble for teachers, despite the fact that you are pumping a lot of money in. They just look at it, and someone will then say, look, what is the point of me going through this kind of education when I can go into politics, or I can go into Yahoo, I can go into to be a hush puppy and what have you. And so parents are now asking that, is our education fit for purpose? The one that we inherited from the British, go to school, cram some things, come out of exams, cheat at exams, leak papers. I can continue because I know a lot of some of these things. I want to find out from you, my honorable, do you really think that doing things the same way and getting results that are not desirable, should we continue that way? Will you support the fact that we should totally overhaul our curriculum so that our education can now be fit for purpose in Nigeria?
Well, thank you very much. Let me use Lagos State as a case study. Our curriculum in Lagos is age appropriate, it is collaborative, it is cooperative, in the sense that it is all-inclusive and participatory. We involve all the stakeholders in decision-making, and that has been our driving force. transforming the basic education sector in Lagos State. We equally realize that to raise one child, it takes the whole community. Schools are part of the community. So it is a responsibility of all to educate just one child. Everybody must be involved. That is why I talked about continuous strategic engagement. We have a special unit in Sube that is saddled with the responsibility of bridging the gap between the community and the school. Like I said, you cannot separate the school from the community. Every school has that identity, has that affinity with that community. So every member of that community must also play their role. You must be able to contribute meaningfully to the development of that community. You see, education is a tool you can use to change the society. And we are also using education to promote and enhance national development. And now, what is national development? If you are going to ask yourself that question. National development is the summation and the aggregate of all the personal development. And what is personal development? Getting educated, giving these, young people, the skills that are necessary to development. So if you put everything together, all those personal development, and you put them together, you now arrive at the national development. So it is a combination of so many things to transform the basic education sector, the education sector in general, so that we can have that national development we are talking about. It is responsibility of everybody.
Super. Thank you very much. The president of the Institute of Chartered Accountants, Mrs. Comfort Itayo, CFE, CFA, FCA, MNI. One of the planks that she's standing on is entrepreneurship, value creation, so that people can come out of school and then become, they can begin business on their own, SME, MSME, and what have you. My question is superb directly supporting institutes such as ours who have made one, entrepreneurship, two, technology, the fact that technology is the next future, is superb, giving some kind of support over and above the normal to institutes like this? And if so, how are they being projected? How are they being projected to our outside world?
Thank you very much. Education is an ecosystem. It needs collaboration and partnership. And a credible organization like yours, ICAN, we are proud to be associated with them. We are ready to work with ICAN. We are ready to work with professional bodies like ICAN to transform the sector. Like I have said, we cannot do it alone. Sustainable Development Goal number 7 talks about partnership. If you want to make the world a better place to live, you need partnership. You need collaboration with other agencies. Interagency collaboration, intergovernmental, intersectorial collaboration. That is why organizations like yours, public spirited, community-driven organization like ICAN, we are ready to partner with them, we are ready to work with them, and we are ready to support in any manner.
Fantastic. And for the benefit of some of us who went through grammar school back in the day, we talked about the fact that many of us went through missionary schools. And then, of course, government came, took off those missionary schools, we returned back to schools, even though, with what my friends would want to call some kind of K-led. I wanted to find out from you, sir, as chairman of Superb, Some of these schools that have now been returned back, maybe after being broken, after being torn one way or the other, in terms of value, the kind of value that we are looking for is superb, giving such schools due attention and due recognition.
Yes, like I have said, the government alone cannot do it. In Lagos State, we have 1,017 primary schools. And according to a survey conducted by UBEC, we have over 18,000 schools in Lagos State. That shows that the government has opened up the space for private sector, religious-based organizations to also come in and bridge that gap, but not at the expense of quality and standard. That is why we have a private unit department at the Ministry of Education to ensure that there are quality and standard. As a matter of fact, in order to make our education to be globally competitive, in order for us to rank among the world best, there are three major areas you must look into. You look at the access, you look at equity, and you look at standard. And standard is what you are talking about. So that you can have the best of infrastructure if nobody is monitoring what is happening in those schools. You understand? Our aim and our objective of having transformation in the teaching and learning outcomes in those schools will not be realized. So standard, quality are some of the watchwords we are using to measure what is happening in our schools.
Thank you very much. And then I'm going to have your final words to us as profession, education, development, by looking at ICAN on AIR program. Now, the ICAN on AIR program came into being as one of the initiatives of Mrs. Comfort's Olu Eyitayo, as saying, yes, we could have education in class, we could have qualified, but then you need to continuously do education, refreshing education. And so this was set as an online platform to begin to talk to ourselves and talk to friends of the profession on various subjects on how to take them forward. Technology, science and tech, mathematics education, logics, pure accounting, taxation, development economics, politics, and the fact that at the end of the day we must have value for money. I wanted to find out from you, one, extracting an assurance or a kind of promise that I'm going to guest you again. I'm going to be inviting you to, online for about 1 hour. We just do questions and answers because we must continue to interrogate you, not because we want you to fall, but because when we interrogate and ask questions, we as stakeholders can also get back to our representatives and get to our governor and get everywhere and say, no, you must continually do this, because if you don't do it, this will not be, but only after we interrogate. So I'm going to be inviting you later on. But your final comments on online platforms like this, which is an innovation and reaches, for instance, as you are speaking with us, your voice is reaching far and near, not just in Nigeria, in sub-Saharan Africa, is going out there in the world, and people are going to be listening and hearing you. What will be your parting shots for this initiative?
Well, thank you. Let me use this opportunity to appreciate and commend Madam President Eyitayo for this laudable initiative. Platforms like these are needed to showcase and let credence, confer authenticity and legitimacy to what we do. This is part of the transparency and accountability we are talking about. Your activity shouldn't be shrouded in secrecy. People must know what you do. And one of the takeaways from this conference is that people must ask questions. You understand? You must begin to ask questions. If you know somebody is going to ask you a question, you understand? Then you begin to do it right. The principle of ordinary and necessary will be applied to whatever we want to do. Yes. Do you want to buy a bottle of water? Water, 50 cl? Yes, we need water. If you pay 1,000 naira for that water, at ordinary place, that means something is wrong. So people must begin to ask questions. Yes, you need that water. Why did you pay 2,000 naira for a bottle of water? I'm not talking about hotel, those are special prices. But outside, when you begin to tell us, you understand, where is the value for money? These are some of the things we begin to do, using platforms like this to ask questions from people who are managing our resources, people who are there, leading us. We must ask them questions. We must hold them to account. And this is what platform like this can do for us. It confers legitimacy to what we do. So I want to once again appreciate the president for bringing this on board, and this is a very good, initiative.
I need to now thank you, Mr. the Honorable King. I need to also say that one of my parting shots from you is that the town means the gown means the town, fit for purpose, is part of the things that you are out for, collaborating with us. And of course, we're doing our own bit, just make sure that integrity, accountability, accuracy, and right values are passed on to the next generation. Thank you for
Thank you very much. And
we appreciate it.
You can invite me anytime. I'll be glad to be on this show. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And ICAN make Nigeria great again. ICAN make Nigeria great again.
Thank you.
ICAN make Nigeria great again. So we can all make Nigeria great again.
Thank you very much. Good man. Yeah.
Oh, yes. ICAN, we are not only poised to make Nigerian to be great again, we have the wherewithal, we have the discipline, we have the knowledge, we have really the capacity to be able to affect our world. And I have seen quite a number of comments that's coming from online viewers. I want to thank you very much. Education is a fulcrum. The kind of education and the kind of tutelage and the stages we go through ICAN exams, I've had it. People have said sometimes it's tough, it's difficult, but the more tough and difficult some of those challenges are, teaches you and gets you very strong to face a much more challenging world outside. We have to be disruptive. We have to shift paradigms, and that is exactly what the Honorable Alawi King has been saying there. And one other thing that he made mention of is the fact that, oh yes, last SUBEB, Lagos State, SUBEB is ready to collaborate with credible institutes like ours who are going into part of entrepreneurship pursuits. Somebody mentioned in that interview the fact that we are fully embracing technology as the next frontier that our students and our practitioners should be looking at. I particularly like his point on the fact that the Lagos State government, well, ably represented, as we are going to see in subsequent bulletins that come on. We are not only there to support the 51st Annual Accountants Conference. They came in their numbers. Can't thank Lagos State and some of our other sponsors that we are going to be showcasing any better. We will show you some additional snippets of few sound bites, feelings of people when they were part of this very historic conference. Please hang on and watch out for more. Yes, some additional pictures of personalities that graced the 51st Annual Accountants Conference in Abuja. And I can assure you we are going to get you more and more of those snippets as the day roll by. For us in ICAN on Air, we are poised and we've been given the charge by policymakers, we've been given the charge by government at high levels that we should continue to disseminate knowledge. And that is exactly what we are going to be doing. I want to thank all our viewers who have kept faith with the Institute and who have come in their thousands in an unprecedented number of attendees. I like to say that the number one accountant in our universe, Mr. Johnson, was so wowed, and he said, COVID enabling, and the next drop of a hat when the Institute of Chartered Accountants are going to be hosting some other important events, he's going to be here. And I like to also tell you that the ICAN on Air, we are here to be able to advertise your goods, your services, and it's going to get to the nooks and crannies of our globe. Watch out for emails and phone numbers of some of our members who will be ready to wait and hunt for you. Our next edition is going to be coming Tuesday, that should be December 7, where we're going to be bringing you some other scintillating subjects, and that is going to go on interspersed with sights and sounds of the 51st Annual Accountants Conference, chairpersoned by the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria. I always say, be the change you want to see, and let's be the conscience of ensuring that trust in governance is raised to the right level. Thank you once again. Stay in tune. I remain Akin Fatunke, your uncle, ICAN on Air. Bye for now.